to the stage, Misha.
You have no idea how horrifying it is to see 500 photos of myself staring back at me. Wow. I gotta take another picture of that so that later I can prove to myself that I wasn't hallucinating. I'll get home and I'll be like, kids, I had a horrible dream. It was a nightmare. Wow, no, this is a reality, I think. Well, whoever came up with that idea, you're a twisted person.
So there are a couple of Finns here. What a great country you have. I don't know if you know that. You probably haven't, you've probably never left and seen any other countries, so you don't know. But this is a great country. You have, everybody seems so happy and well-adjusted. I've been here for, I've been here for a week, and it's kind of a remarkable thing to compare your country with my country. I come from Trump land. And in the US, you walk down the street in any city and there are homeless people and mentally ill people and people who are using fentanyl on the streets all over the place in every American city. And here you have enough of a social service network that people are actually taken care of. It's actually a remarkable thing. I'm told that you have the best education system in the world. I don't know if that's true or if you're just bragging about yourselves. But there's definitely a correlation between having a good education system and having people not living on the streets, you know? It all... And grabs bags of chips off of the shelves and then jumps back in their car. Nobody would ever sit down and take the time to eat a meal. And the food here is great, too. That's another thing that people don't really talk about, Finnish food. We talk about French food and Italian food, but Finnish food is actually really good. I've been very impressed. I'm now working for the Finnish Tourism Bureau. In case you can't tell. And if you want to book a vacation to Finland, you can just reach out to me on Instagram and I'll set you up. I also took the ferry from Stockholm over to Turku, and it was great. There's a lot of old people and slot machines. It kind of felt like Trump land a little bit. I'm sorry that I've renamed my country Trump land. Are a lot of you big fans of Donald Trump? Anyone? Any one person here? Oh, wait, you love him? Get that woman out of here. That's another thing that I love about Finland. In the United States, if I get up on stage in front of a large audience of people, I have to be careful about what I say about Trump, because half the people there like him. Now I can be honest and say, what a piece of shit he is. Okay, that's enough out of me. You talk now. Do you want to ask a question?
Okay, great.
This is for my sister. Because
Okay.
she couldn't come here.
Okay.
And I'm just asking this, and oh my god, I'm nervous.
So you're asking a question for your sister?
Yeah, for my sister.
Is it because it's sort of an embarrassing question, so
No,
you're
no.
pretending
No.
that it's not really your question?
No, but this is like, I don't want to be rude or anything.
Yes, that's what I thought this was going to be. Yeah.
But I'm poor, my sister is poor. Can I get your sign one paper for my sister as a birthday present?
I mean, I think that the convention,
I know.
the convention organizers are probably going to get mad at me, and my guess is probably security will ask you to leave, and everybody will probably be angry with you in the audience. But yeah, I'm happy to do it. And if you are poor, we are looking for people to come work for the Finnish Tourism Bureau. So you can join us. No, you don't have a fucking pen? Do you have a pen? Thank you. You needed to come prepared with this. What's your sister's name? Well, I already started now. What do I do? Double V? Wait, VV? Double V? W. Okay. How do you spell her name? I-L-N-A? Thank you. That'll be... I want to try to do something before you... Hold on. Just relax. Just stand there in the spotlight. Here, I'll snap a quick photo of you. And just relax. Hold on.
No worries.
Bear with me.
Yeah.
Well, this is awkward. It's my mom. It's Mother's Day, and I haven't been able to reach her. And I thought it might be nice to call her, but she has the longest outgoing message.
A good time for me to try to get
Leave her a message.
and I hope to speak to you soon.
Me too. Hi, Mom. I'm just calling to say Happy Mother's Day, and I love you. And it's just you and me, just for a quick chat. If you want to call me back, right now would be a good time to call me back if you get this message. Okay, bye.
Started watching it when I was quite young.
How young?
11, 10. And
Oh, really?
She wanted to approve it.
She approved that?
With a little bit of fight.
Yeah. So, your mother thought it was fine for you when you were 10 and 11 to watch beheadings?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No,
great.
probably not. But...
Do you think that it caused permanent damage?
Yeah.
What other things did your mom let you do when you were, so was she like, here, let's sit down kid, but in Finnish of course,
Yeah.
right? Sit down, let's watch some beheadings. Would you like a cigarette?
Well, not the cigarettes.
No. Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
No, not the cigarettes.
Well, that's great. That's good parenting.
Hey,
to us, I believe. Make it possible.
Well, thank you very much for letting me come into your country. It was very generous of you. And nobody even looked at my passport. It was very welcoming. Yeah. Yeah. I tried to see the Northern Lights last night.
Oh yeah, true.
And no, there were no Northern Lights. So that's one thing I don't like about your country.
But you have to come and visit us more often.
Okay.
Okay, can I ask my question?
I really wish you would, because this is starting to drag on. You've been standing here for like 15 minutes. It's time to ask the question.
My question is...
Do you want to try to call your mom now? Yeah?
Really?
Yeah, do you want to give her a ring?
Can I still ask my question later?
Yeah. We'll just wait for you. We don't have anything to do. I hope she answers too. I wish my mom would call and then my mom could talk to your mom. And we can avoid this whole...
Can I do a screen record?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm shaking.
Is she going to answer though?
I don't
It's
know.
probably going to go to voicemail, just like mine did.
It's a FaceTime though. Is it
Oh,
okay?
yeah.
Oh my god, I'm shaking so much. Please answer.
Is she going to answer? What's your mom's name?
Eva-Riitta.
Eva-Riitta.
Yeah.
Eva-Riitta.
She's not answering.
Oh, fuck. Well, I wish you brought your mom? That's good. All right, at least there's...
Okay.
All right.
My question is...
Yes.
What is your favorite version of Cass and why?
I have probably several answers to that question. One, my favorite version of Cass is just like regular old Cass, because I got to know him the best, and he's the one that character ended up feeling like, can't believe your mom ignored you, by the way.
No, I'm so sad.
That's really disappointing. It's too bad. She's probably watching some beheadings or something.
Probably
Knowing her,
supernatural and
yeah.
crying because she's not here.
So, one of the interesting things about playing characters for so long, so Jared and Jensen played Sam and Dean for 15 years, I played Cass for 12 years, and when you decide you're going to be an actor for your job, I think we all thought, like, maybe someday I'll play a character for 4 or 5 years, but it never really occurs to you that you might keep doing the same thing for more than a decade. And and this happened for all of us, the characters of Sam, Dean, and Cass ended up starting to feel real to us. Like, we knew those characters, and they occupied a part of our psyche without us even wanting that to be true. It's like, because by virtue of the fact that we played those characters for so long, we all became a little bit schizophrenic and a little bit psychotic. And I remember it was getting toward the end of the series, and we did this interview with Sam Heifel, who was a writer for Entertainment Weekly, and we were talking about Jensen's vision for how the show was going to end, and it actually came to him in a dream. And the dream was that Dean pulls up to a cross. Do you know this story? You're nodding.
The Roadhouse thing?
No.
Oh.
So this was Jensen's dream, but he dreamed how the show was going to end, and it was that Dean pulls up to a crossroads in the Impala, and some stranger pulls up with a motorcycle, and he gives the stranger the keys to the Impala, and he takes the keys to this motorcycle and drives away and leaves the Impala behind. And it's because Sam and Cass are dead and gone, and he doesn't need room for passengers anymore. And so he's just riding off into the sunset on his motorcycle. And Jensen shared this dream in this interview that Jared Jensen and myself were doing. And all three of us teared up because we knew those characters so well that imagining them having that parting moment was like actually emotionally impactful for us.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, that character of Cass, just regular old Cass, has the softest place in my heart. But I had the most fun playing Lucifer, Cass. Mark Pellegrino, who played Lucifer originally on the show, Mark, the day that I started filming Lucifer Cass, I went over to his apartment in Vancouver and said, hey, can you help me cheat? Like, tell me your secrets to how you play Lucifer. And he said, in every scene when I'm talking to another character, I think I make a decision, and that is, do I want to kill them or fuck them? And I was like, well, that's a great inner narrative to be having. So now I just use that in my regular life.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Tell your mom I missed her. I went from running, like when I got on the show, I was running ultra marathons, and toward the end of the show, I had my hips replaced. So
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did have a question. It was about your boat trip, because that's
Yes.
a very quintessential Finnish experience, the boat between Sweden and Finland. Did you get any advice on what you're supposed to do on the boat?
No, I didn't. Would you like to give me some advice for my next trip?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
When you go in, first thing you do, you go to your cabin, leave your stuff. Then you go to tax-free, you buy a lot of alcohol, as much as you can. Then you go back to your cabin, drink most of it. Then you go to karaoke.
There's karaoke?
Yes, that's the thing you should do. Then you sing Aikuinen nainen. You do that. Then you go to a disco for the rest of the night.
There's a disco?
Well, yeah.
Motherfucker, I missed it all.
After the disco, you go back to your cabin. Maybe you have found someone to go back to your cabin with, maybe not.
Or some people.
Some people,
Yes.
yeah. Sometimes you can also have like a after party on the, in front of the cabins, like on the,
On the balcony?
hallway.
Oh, in the hallway.
Hallway party.
Okay.
Hallway party. Then you maybe sleep if you can.
Okay.
And the next day, this is if you leave in the evening.
Yeah.
So the next day, in the morning when you wake up sometime, you go to the cafe where there's a Swedish dance band playing, and all the...
What the fuck boat was I on? I missed all of this.
Yeah, you missed the dance band and the pensioners who are sitting there and dancing.
Damn it.
Yeah, and then after that you go back to the tax-free, you buy more alcohol, preferably longero, gin long drink. You have to try that if you haven't.
Okay, I haven't. Okay.
Yes, you try that, it's the best thing that
Okay.
comes out of Finland. You buy that to take home, and then you sleep for a week.
That sounds great.
Yeah? Do it right the next time.
All right. I'll come back and I'll try it that way. So you can actually, I didn't even realize that people were on the boat picking up venereal diseases.
Yeah.
That's a part of it.
Yeah, and people
Yeah.
go like, they go on a cruise, so they don't go just one way, they
Right.
go back and forth to have venereal disease.
Right.
Okay, I'll stop
Thank
taking
you.
it first time.
Bye. Do I have a favorite? Well, in what context? Give me more.
Like any memorable that you like remember really well.
No, I don't really remember any of them. I remember particular episodes, particular scenes with Jared and Jensen where they tortured me the most. So those stand out in my memory. I watched my friends and old castmates, Rob Benedict and Richard Spade. Rob Benedict played God on Supernatural. They do a podcast now that is a rewatch podcast. Do you know what that is? It's like people go back, people are rewatching Supernatural every episode, and then after each episode, in the rewatch, they interview somebody from the cast or from the crew, and they talk about the episode and they talk about the show, and that's the podcast. And they had me come and watch an episode and do an interview recently. It was an episode from season 5, and I watched it. I had no recollection. I was in it. I had no recollection of any of the scenes in that episode or the episode itself. And no memory. It's as if I was like, was that really me there? Because I don't remember any of this. So a lot of Supernatural is just like gone for me. And I think that that's like a trauma response. You know, you hear about people who have had like really traumatic experiences and they don't remember anything.
Yeah, I have those.
Like, yeah, you do?
I'm not gonna tell them.
No, that's for the best. How do you know about them though if you don't remember?
Good question.
Yeah, I stumped you there. People tell you about it, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot that I don't remember, but I remember when you ask about particular scenes, the things that pop into my head are when one of the things that we did on set was we would try to mess each other up. So if we're shooting a scene together and you're Jared playing Sam and the camera is on you and I'm back here next to the camera, I'll be making faces, taking off my clothes, doing whatever I can to make you screw up your lines. That's how we worked together. And Jared was particularly good at messing me up. And I was particularly bad at not laughing when there was anything in my crotch that wasn't supposed to be there. So Jared would always have like a long broom handle. And if the camera frame is like right here, the camera's only seeing from here up, which is how it often is in a close-up or a medium shot. They don't see the whole body. So the director who's watching on the monitor in another room doesn't know why I'm laughing or what's wrong with me. So Jared would have like a broomstick in my crotch while we're shooting a scene, and I'd be trying not to laugh, and then finally I'd be like, oh shit. And then the director in the other room would be like, oh, come on, Misha. And I'm like, no, it's not me, it's him. But that happened all the time. And there was this one scene in particular that pops into my mind when I'm talking about this, where I came up to this table. Actually, I remember the episode. It was called My Bloody Valentine. And we're in the scene, and there's this, we're in a morgue. Do you know what a morgue is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in this morgue, and there's this table with hearts on it. And I'm playing Castiel, and I come up to the table, and I say my line, and Jared and Jensen are standing on the other side of the table. And I come up and I say, I don't know what my line was, but it's like, there's hearts on the table. And I'm saying my lines, and I get up to the table, and as soon as I land, I feel a broomstick under the table in my crotch. And I start laughing, and the first AD comes over and takes the broom away from Jared. Because he's a child. He's like, okay, let's go again. And now it's Friday night, and everybody's tired, and the whole crew wants to go home. And I come up to the table, and there are hearts on the table. And Jared has done this. And he has these long, skinny legs, and it's just like foot right there. And I'm trying to say the line, and Jared is just like being a monster. And so, and we do like 5 takes, and every time he does something to mess me up. And Jensen says, Misha, why are you saying the line to him? Just say the line to me. And I was like, thank you. Finally, somebody who's trying to get us out of the scene. And so I come up to the table, and I say the line to Jensen, there are hearts on the table. And Jensen goes, And I laughed again, and the director was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Misha!" That was a very common dynamic on set. I would say another scene that was very memorable for me was my last scene on the show, where I had my declaration of love to Dean, and we all took that scene very seriously. That scene was also it was the last scene of the day on the last day of the week. It was a Friday night, and it was the very last scene for the crew, and it was the last scene that I would ever shoot on Supernatural, and it was me saying goodbye to this cast and crew that I'd worked with for 12 years. It was me saying goodbye to this character. It was a very meaningful last scene for the character, and I was like really happy about what the message was in that scene. So it was a lot of emotion in the room on that night. It was a very strange night too, because we finished that scene, and because we were shooting late, we had a Supernatural convention to go to. And because we were shooting so late on Friday night, and we had to be on the East Coast in the US, which is like a 5 or 6 hour flight, and we had to work Saturday morning, and we were filming until 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday or Saturday morning. Like, we were filming late into the night. There were no flights, so this company that was doing the convention on the East Coast had to charter a private jet to get us there, because there was no commercial flights that would get us to the event in time. So we went straight from the set to the airport, and we got on this plane, and it took off, and it was me and Jared and Jensen. Was Jared on the plane? It was me and Jensen and Alex Calvert and Richard Spate, and we got up and we flew for about 10 minutes, and suddenly there was this huge flash of light and explosion, and the whole jet started shaking like crazy. One of the engines on the jet had exploded, and the metal was like shredded up. And the pilot got on the intercom and said, "We have to go back to Vancouver and do an emergency landing." And as we were flying back, the plane was like shaking like crazy. And as we got into range on the cell towers, we all texted our partners, like, "Please tell the kids I love them," because we all thought we might die. And it was as we were flying back, there were probably 15 fire trucks on the landing strip at the airport. We did not know if we were going to survive, and then so it was like that night was a very intense night. Like, I said goodbye to Cass, I said goodbye to the cast and crew, and then I also said goodbye to my children, like all of it. So the next day I was like a bit of a shell of a person. It was like, I think I've like lost everything. Yeah. And then 2 days later, everything got shut down for the pandemic as well. It was a very intense little moment. So anyway,
Thank you.
That was a long answer. I'm sorry, everybody.
Thank you.
Are you comfortable? Great.
I'm actually from Turku.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I am.
How lovely.
You should go there,
I did.
but like be longer.
Well, okay. I was there for a little while. It was quite nice. I went to a great grocery store in Turku.
What?
I don't know, Kmart
Oh
something.
my God!
It's a
I
fucking
might work there. It might be
work
fun.
there? Is it the big gigantic one? It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, I think it's my workplace.
I was in your place of employment? That's amazing. You should come to where I work. I work for the Finnish Tourism Bureau.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay, what's your question?
Okay, sorry, I have to cheat a little bit.
Okay.
Nervous still. So, we all know and love the iconic song "Carry On," my favorite song, at the end of every season. So, what would be your song choice if the song wouldn't be that?
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? From the Muppets? Don't you think that would be a badass way to end every season? The Impala rushes off camera, and then you just hear, why are there so many songs about rainbows? Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yeah.
And I think pretty much in the same spirit for Supernatural, you know? Yeah. So the show, the original script for the last episode of Supernatural was written before the pandemic, and we were going to have the band Kansas. They were already signed up. It was a big secret. Nobody could know about it. But Kansas was going to, in the final episode of the show, perform on a stage in a bar, which was Dean's version of Heaven. So we were going to actually have them playing Carry On My Wayward Son live, which was pretty cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Oh.
Yeah. One of the cool things about having done Supernatural and the fact that that song, Carry On My Wayward Son, was kind of the anthem of the show, it actually breathed life. It was like a big boost to the band, Kansas.
Yeah. Okay.
They were all like, holy shit, all of a sudden we're famous again. So we all got to know the band members a little bit and like did some Zooms with them and got to meet them in person and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, what is your favorite fruit?
What is my favorite fruit? God, I've had this conversation so many times recently. I'm not kidding. It's like a thing now. I've been asking people about their favorite fruit and having like real in-depth
So it was the wrong
conversations about it.
question.
Well, no, I mean, it's a good question. But I actually don't have a favorite fruit, but there are, because there are just different things about different fruits that I love. I mean, we have some different, you have a lot of passion fruit here in Finland, which is weird. It seems like it's showing up all over the place. I've seen a lot of passion fruits. I don't know where the fuck you're getting them from. So they certainly don't grow here.
No.
But I was having this conversation with my daughter just like 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about how we loved pears. You know pears?
Yes.
But the problem, I mean, pears have, of course, a lot of problems. One is you can never really tell if it's ripe or not, and an unripe pear is really terrible.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes. Well, I'm going to talk about pears for quite some time. So. But a good pear is absolutely delicious. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Really? I'm glad that we have this point of consensus. But I think that we can also agree that pears don't travel well.
Yeah.
Like, you never want to throw a pear in your backpack, because it's definitely going to be brown and mushy when you're done, right?
Yes.
It's very inconvenient. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
So, I had this conversation with my daughter, and we got into some of the details, like you and I are right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm sure you can agree this is quite interesting.
Definitely.
Oh, you guys waited in line to be in here too. That sucks, doesn't it? I'm so sorry. So, we decided one of the problems with a pear is it doesn't have good natural packaging. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like an orange has that nice peel that protects it, or the kind of apex fruit in terms of packaging, the banana, right? So my daughter, I wish I could show this to you. Is there any way to show them something on the screen? No?
Oh.
My daughter,
You can show it to me.
I'll show you. And you can convey to these people, I have to make sure there's no nudes in here for 1 second. 1 second. No, you don't want to see those. It's horrible.
If it's possible, could we take a quick selfie?
Sure. That'll be 120 euros.
Of course.
Okay, here we go. not on your phone. Those are horrible pictures.
Yeah, it's always.
So my daughter, getting back to this, she took a banana and a pear, she chopped up the pear into little pieces, then she peeled the banana carefully, took the banana out, and put the pear in the banana peel, and then sewed it up like a Frankenstein. And then we went on a walk with the pear in our backpack.
Right.
Because we had just solved one of the biggest problems in the world of fruit. And it was awesome. And I do
Your
have
daughter
a...
is genius.
I know,
Absolute genius.
absolute genius, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, but then I haven't seen that in the grocery stores at all. You never see bananas that have been sewn back up
Yeah.
with
Too
little
much
pears
time to do
stuffed in
showing.
it. Yeah, that's weird. Actually, that woman that works at the grocery store, you should do that. That's a free idea for you. Yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad you asked that question.
Thank you.
Thank you. That, I'm going to have to say no more questions about fruit. And that this is our last question. Okay? Because they want me to get off the stage. Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Which one do you prefer, Jensen or Jagged?
Well, I mean, in what sense?
Like in general.
Like, which one would I want to have be...
Like, for
Which one would I want to have sex with? Is that what you want? That's a really good question. Which one would I rather have sex with? They're both so dainty. Here's the thing, like it really depends on the context of what you're talking about. I don't think there's a one size fits all, because like I know like Jensen is really good about doing the dishes and cleaning up afterwards. So that's really like nice. I think that he would be a good person to just handy to have around the house. Jared is a bit of a mess in that sense, but he's also like good at moving heavy things. So I think I'd like to have both of them help around the house in different ways. That's how I see that. I wouldn't want to like obviously be friends with either one of them, but they could be helpful in different ways. Yeah. Thank you for asking that question. You want to ask one more question? Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
It's honor and pleasure that you and that you are here. I'm just a little bit nervous. My question is,
yes.
Who's your favorite actor as your personal inspiration?
I don't really know. There have been some actors who I've been inspired by because they have gotten, I'm not going to say their names because it's not kind, but who got really successful and famous, and I think they're terrible as actors, and that's a great inspiration to me because I think, well, if those fuckers can do it, then maybe I can too. I really love Bill Murray. I think he's pretty great, and has been great in many, many things. And I don't know, I guess I'll leave you with that. He's not, that's just the first name that popped into my head, but I do love Bill Murray. Probably the greatest, like, real theater actor, very serious, mostly Shakespearean kind of actor that I've worked with, that every time I've been on set with this actor, it's been like, oh, this is a different level of performance, would probably be Jared Padalecki. he brings such a gravitas to the set every time. Yeah.